Peace, peace. It is I, the one, the only Omarion, and I am paging Dr. Chanda right here on Revolt Podcast.
Period. Let's get into it.
I am paging Dr. Chanda.
I am the Dr. Chanda.
And I'm a licensed clinical psychologist.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Paging Dr. Chanda Podcast, all things related to the Black culture.
On Revolt. The doctor in front of your name.
Y'all checked out my Amazon storefront yet? Listen, whether you're searching for last-minute date night outfits, perfecting your 4C curls, or delving into mental health books or enhancing your nail game, I've got you covered. Y'all know here at the Dr. Chanda Podcast, we like to serve looks and books. So make sure that you guys click on my affiliate link for a hassle-free shopping experience that supports my creation efforts. Elevate your lifestyle and your mental health today.
I'm excited. Are you excited?
Yes, I'm always in a good mood.
I love it. I love it. They call you Mr. Unbothered. That's why the people call you Mr. Unbothered, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm here for it. So we're about to have a whole conversation. So again, you guys are listening to the Paging Dr. Chanda Podcast, available exclusively on the Revolt Podcast Network. I am here with none other than Mr. Unbothered himself, a multi-platinum selling artist, Omarion. Y'all give it up for him. Give it up for him. Yeah, listen, I always tell people, B2K, Omarion, like y'all are the reason why we wore jersey dresses in the 2000s. Like this is like, that was the whole like era. I remember that.
That was a vibe.
Yeah. It was definitely a vibe. And I love seeing your transition as an artist.
Thank you.
Your transition as a person.
Thank you.
Like, I've been listening to your book. I can imagine like, you know, the bars that people just watch when they're reading it.
Yeah.
I was listening to it though on Audible.
Oh, okay.
And I must say, you're dropping gems.
Hey.
Sounding like Brother Shaquille Sunflower.
Okay. Yeah.
So I can't wait to get into your book, but I first want to hear a little bit about who Omarion is. So if we could play a little bit of game of this or that,
okay,
as a little icebreaker. Is that okay?
Perfect.
All right. So we're going to do the holiday edition. Is that cool?
Okay.
All right. So Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Neither.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a giver all year round.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not too particular about holidays.
Yeah.
You know, especially because there's always a deeper meaning, you know, living in America.
Yeah.
You know,
yes.
So I always try to give thanks all the time.
Living a life of gratitude.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Next one, sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie?
Both of those are really good.
Okay.
I probably would go with sweet potato.
I'm here. Listen.
Yeah,
okay. This
Come
is why
on.
we're friends. All right. Okay. Yes. Sweet potato pie. Okay. This is a little bit hard. The Jackson 5 Christmas album or the Temptations Christmas album?
I probably would go with the Jackson 5. That's a little bit more my era. You know, I definitely appreciate Otis.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Jackson 5.
That's why, okay, this is why this is a vibe already. Because
yes.
I choose a Jackson 5 as
okay,
well. I choose a Jackson 5 as well. Okay, gift giving or gift receiving?
Both. I think that there is an importance for both. If I had to choose one, it would probably be giving, though.
Okay.
Yeah, there is such a type of self-gratitude that happens in exchange for a thoughtful gift.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when you know who you're giving the gift to.
Yeah.
So that gives me a type of gratification.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
So I know you don't necessarily celebrate holidays, but do you have any favorite childhood memories of like a holiday that your family may have celebrated or?
Let me think about that. I mean, you know, the solar return, the B-days is always cool.
Yes.
You know, that's cool. I would say all of the born days are usually like dope. People share, you know, good words with you, and you know they kind of like, you know, propped you up for the day. So I would say any of the born days for sure.
I love it. Okay. And that was so rude of me. Happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. How did you spend it?
With the fam.
I love that.
Yeah, with the fam. I plan on throwing myself a party next year.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my plan. Because usually, well, you know, if you continue to grow in life as a man, you realize you got to plan your own things. You know what I'm saying? You got friends and family, but you got to plan your own vibes. You got to be like, okay, what do I want to do? So next year, I'm gonna plan a big situation for myself and invite everybody.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll definitely be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna be turning 40.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's like a big deal for me.
That's a milestone.
Yeah, for real. Growing up in this industry and, not even considering that one day I will be, a young OG in this game. You know what I'm saying? So
how does that feel? Because you were like very young when you guys entered the industry, and now you're looked at as the OG. Yeah,
I think it's interesting. There's a couple of different parts, to it. I would say the one that I revere the most is the information and the knowledge that I could share, with the next generation. I have two beautiful kids, so and I'm also a big brother, so I feel like that job is never over. Yeah, and it's always cool to be able to just kind of see like, look at this, young person, or amazing. You know what. And it's not always me giving, I'm learning as well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful process. Absolutely. To be able to grow and, age, so to speak. I feel like you only get better, Absolutely. If you plan on taking that perspective. Yeah. I feel like it's in society, such a negative stigma around like growing older. Yeah. I think it's that word though. Yeah. Okay. The old word. Whoever came up with that word is like old. Like what? No, it's seasoned. I love that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Aging, anything like, when they talk about certain foods or certain, spirits, it's like the aged spirit. It's like, it has more depth. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Even thinking about wine, like the more it ages, like the better it gets, the more valuable it is. I'm just saying. Yeah. But when they talk about being old, it's like a down thing. Right. You know what I mean? Exactly. So I try not to use that word. Exactly. Yeah. Do people call you Unc yet? No, I'm not looking forward to that. No, don't call me Unc. Don't call me Unc. I plan on looking young forever. Right. So call me O. Yeah. Period. They call me Auntie on TikTok. So I'm real? Yes. Yeah, but you have a youthfulness to you. Thank you. Yeah. But and you have a twin sister too. Yes. Yeah. I noticed that. I did a little research. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So we have the Double Dose podcast because it's two of us. Oh, dope. Even though you and Omarion look like twins. Yeah, we feel like twins. Okay. You know what I mean? We have our own hidden language. Do you guys have your own hidden language? Yes. Okay, yeah. Yes. It's like telepathy. Like Thank you. Okay, yeah. We vibe on that, that sister bro energy. Right. Heavy. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it only gets better as you continue to grow together. Yeah. Yeah. So how would you describe yourself in 3 words? How would I describe myself in 3 words? That's a hard question. I would say fun. I would say loving, and I would say to a degree, let me think about that last one. Because I was going to say competitive, but not in the way that everyone competes to be better. Yeah. But more so compete to grow, compete to, do research and find new ways to explore, It's nothing like having somebody to push you. You know what I mean? So I would say, competitive in that sense, not competitive that I would want to be better than anyone, because, sports and so many other, avenues of competing is about like being the one. Yeah. But we're all, individually bring different things to the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really about one person. Yeah. It's kind of about all of us. Absolutely. And us being our, one, our best. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I'm the one O. You know what I mean? There ain't no other O's. There's a few other O's out there, but it's only one me. Right. You know what I mean? So I would say competitive in that aspect. Yeah. And I love that, because I was watching another interview that you did, and you were talking about
comparison and how oftentimes that's the thief of joy.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, I don't like to compare myself. And of course, we're all inspired by, some amazing people.
Yeah.
But we really have our own, journey to walk. So realizing that as I progressed and learned, like, I could look at, some of my predecessors and people that I would say are my teachers, like Michael Jackson, James Brown, a lot of great performers. And when I look at my journey, I'm like, yeah, but mine is not like theirs, and there's something beautiful about that, that we all have our own specific journey and specific information that we are supposed to learn and intake and then share with other people uniquely for their journey. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah,
no, that's gems because even going back to what you said about like, you were talking about how it's important to be collective. Like it's about the shared experience as opposed to being competitive to one another.
Yeah.
I was literally talking to somebody about that. Like I call it a spirit, like the spirit of comparison that's amongst like artists and other people.
Yeah.
That's not African. Like in order for us to be like African centered and to be rooted in that, like we have to be about community as opposed to being so individualized and, it's about me. I got to be the best. I don't care about, I need to be better. Like,
I've experienced that on so many levels, and it has even thwarted, my perspective of sharing sometimes because, people are so competitive.
For sure.
But this is a shared experience. Absolutely. And we're all supposed to inspire each other. And it's interesting that you said it's not African because for me, it doesn't feel natural to see someone and be like, well, I want what they have. I'm more so motivated by how they got it. Yeah. Like, okay, dang, that's kind of fly. Maybe I want that, but what does it take to get that? And culturally, for us to be able to get back into that space where we can all be and experience, one another and share. Yeah. I think that is cultural, you know what I mean? And I'm looking forward to getting back in that, or at least getting to a space of community where I can share that energy with others and it's not so compared, like, this person, it's a fun conversation to have. Sure. Like, we always have the Prince and Michael, conversation, but it's like this 2 different journeys, 2 different people, 2 different entities that walked in their way strong, so don't like to compare. Yeah.
You were talking about like community. And it's important to have a community when you're trying to operate in that space. Like, what does your community look like right now?
It's a bunch of women.
Okay.
It's a bunch of women and some strong men.
Okay.
I think that it's so important to advocate for, men and women coming together to create magic. Yeah. I think it's so beautiful. I have a song on my album, Full Circle, Sonic Book 2 that's coming out in December. And it's called Black Magic. And, I always talk about the hidden messages within my music and my songs. And on the surface, Black Magic, a lot of people are like, oh, what is this about? But in this particular song, the hidden message is about the spirit of the woman and how the womb is black magic because it's this space where you can plant a seed and the whole human will come out.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody, even without, being black, what I'm saying? Or I like to say brown because we never lack nothing. We be lack nothing.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? But I talk about how special everyone has magic, and how you should tap into that. So there's always a hidden message in, what Omarion does and bring forth.
Absolutely. And that's true artistry.
Yeah.
Anybody can put out a song with a dope beat.
Right.
It's about like putting out what is art, what has deeper meaning behind it.
Yeah. And I like to speak about community too, because I was raised, I would say, I don't want to say different, but unique because, I was very much a kid that, walked everywhere, went outside, played outside, and it's not that it's that long ago either. You know what I mean? It's not that long ago.
Absolutely.
But the Boys and Girls Club existed. I attended all kind of, drama classes and, I went to a performing arts school. So that's how I cultivated, my skills and my connection to community, because there was always programs and things that helped me engage and recognize and realize other people's culture. So that is something that I plan on, I plan on creating a space where that can thrive again, a dance studio or creative space where, all cultures can come together and, we can grow.
Do you feel like you already have that, like a community where you're kind of cultivating that, even though it may not be physical yet, but it's there? Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. My fans call themselves the originals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I always try to create a space where, we can all tap in and, engage and interact, because that's the exchange, for them supporting me, me to be able to give them my time and my information and my experience. It's like a true exchange. So I do have a space, even if it's not, the old lounge or the the Oasis or
Oasis. Yeah, I like what you did there. Okay.
But I do have a special place that if you catch your invitation, you're more than welcome to come in.
Period. Am I invited?
Of course.
Okay.
You already up in there.
I'm there.
You and your sister.
Y'all hear this?
Come on.
We in there.
Yeah.
So if we could transition into talking more about your book and what it was like just to go through the journey of being unbothered.
Yeah.
You talked about how it's a lifestyle to choose joy, realizing that you have a choice in terms of how you respond to certain situations.
Yeah.
When did you realize you had a choice?
Whew. It was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. Through all of my experiences, I realized the importance of, choosing and the power of it.
Yeah.
And, a lot of the times when we're going through things, we want to react. And, I always say this, in my interviews, reacting, seldom serves us. Doing things off the fly, don't get me wrong, we all have to adapt.
Yeah.
But reacting, it doesn't do much for us, but when we're able to sit back, we're able to be thoughtful about how we respond. And I'm glad that you used that word, respond, because a lot of us are in that fight or flight position, through our trauma. We're reacting to things.
Yes.
It doesn't do anything for us. I'm telling you, it doesn't do. And also there's another part to that, people get monetary gain from reacting. When you're thoughtful, you get kind of this more lengthier, perspective and choice to choose to be like, well, wait a minute, I might want to end up here. If I do this, I won't get an opportunity to end up here. So let me be thoughtful in my response.
Yeah.
And what really helped me cultivate that was being in intense situations where, I felt like things weren't in my favor, and I had to, swallow some big pills and realize that this is just, a moment that will pass. So just realizing in my decision making that I had to take a step back and, be thoughtful really helped me understand the power of choosing joy. And writing this book was truly an experience. It forced me to do a lot of dense work and ask myself the tough questions in order to place this information forth authentically. Because a lot of the times, especially in my experience and now gaining more of a spiritual perspective and having spiritual OGs, drop a little nugget on me. It's the experience that you go through. You got to go through that first, in order for you to say, you know what, okay, let me make dollars and cents of this. Tupac has a famous thing. He says that you can get paid off your pain, you know what I mean? But you can't get paid off your pain if you don't reflect and actually go through the process of healing yourself.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? So I went through that process and I was able to pull those gems and, say, oh, okay, this worked for me. This might work for someone else.
Yeah.
So I did the work, and then I arrived to being unbothered. You know, shout out to all my fans that dubbed me Mr. Unbothered. You know, but sometimes you got to sit still. You just got to realize what people are trying to do, especially in interviews. And I always love to sit down, you know, with women and intellectuals and people that are, you know, thought leaders like yourself, because, you know, it inspires a different process.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't realize and recognize that they have other lanes, you know, to choose. You don't have to always be in the vengeful lanes. You know, I want revenge, you know, that only produces, you know, monetary gain. And, you know, we in this for the long haul. We playing the long game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So thank you for, you know, having a platform where, you know, people can express their experience and let people know that can hear there's other ways.
No, thank you for actually being committed to like the collaborative work that you're doing, because I always say like there are more people who will listen to an Omarion as opposed to walking into my office.
Right.
Because there's such a stigma when it comes to like talking about how you feel and that fight or flight that you were talking about.
Yeah.
It's all based in trauma.
Yep.
People don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. And you got to.
You got
to talk to somebody. You might not have to get on a podcast.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I agree.
So when thinking about like the fight or flight response that you were talking about, people don't realize when they're functioning in the space because we tend to normalize trauma in our community.
Yeah.
And so like when you were going through this process of figuring out, okay, the work like that I need to do, how did you recognize what was normal and what was not normal in terms of responses?
I have to shout out my foundation, you know, and my community, because I have a lot of smart, just strong women around me that help shift a lot of my energy and focus towards what was important.
Love that.
You know, so, you know, I have to, again, you know, foundation. The foundation is important and for so many reasons. One being that it is the springboard in which you reach your highest height, because sometimes, you know, your mind can play tricks on you.
Yes.
And when you feel disrespected as a man, it is a very personal thing. And, you know, us men, we're physical beings.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of our expression comes out in physical ways. So I have to, you know, again, acknowledge the sound women around me that helped me see that it was a lot of the things that I was going through was just monetary, you know what I mean? And there was, you know, light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. So that's how I was able to, you know, process certain things that was happening to me.
Good.
And also just realizing like, oh, okay, people trying to play me. This person trying to play me. You know what I mean? And that's not the end all be all move. It's like, you know, you still got action in the game. You know, if you want to win the game, you got to definitely not allow certain moves to thwart your process.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, you know, there's a whole other thing on the side of that fear, of that trauma, of those things that you feel like, oh, this is the end. No, it's not. You know, there's always some golden nuggets on the other side. And you got to make it to the other side. I think of this meme. It's this meme. It's this cartoon meme. And it's like this guy that's basically, you know, fishing for gold, and he's like pretty much right there, and then this person on the bottom that's like he's just keep going, you know what I mean, and he's like further away from it. And you know, a lot of the times we don't know how close we are to change and to elevate in our lives if we just stop. We have to keep going. So shout out to my foundation, shout out to my community, shout out to my brother. He's definitely been, you know, a very strong support. You know, I say he's not only my womb buddy and my best friend, but if you really want to dive into another perspective, I tell people, ask him, because he's witnessed everything that I've gone through, and he's definitely been, you know, an inspiring force to be like, hey, don't even trip off of that. we've been that for each other. So
I love that. Yeah. Orion has a lot of wisdom. I sent him an email too. So Orion, check your emails.
Yeah. He got to get on here and, chop it up with you too.
Yeah. So I'm going to go on the limb and speak for all the ladies out there. Can you start like a support group for men so the brothers can tap into their emotions? Because there's a lot of like emotionally unintelligent brothers out there.
That's true. Fellas, we got to level up.
Come on.
It's definitely some of us out there that understand the importance of emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
But I would say for us, for men, discipline is linked to, emotional intelligence. Find your path to discipline. And, that can come in many forms. A lot of us learn discipline in sports. A lot of us learn discipline through business. But we have to correlate, that discipline and transfer that into emotional intelligence. Everything doesn't deserve a reaction, but most things deserve a response. So be thoughtful and fellas, level up.
Level up.
I think it's both sides though.
Okay.
I think it's both sides. Yeah, because there's some women that have grave emotion that also need to keep it in perspective and in check too. The power of a woman's emotions can just shift the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would say it's important for women to level up and find the importance of your voice and knowing when to speak and when to not speak. Don't use your voice to give a tongue lashing. You know what I mean? Use your words to inspire.
Yes.
To help, people level up too. You know what I mean? I think the onus is on both parties. We all have to level up and become emotionally sound. Yeah.
That's good. And I received that. that.
Yeah, because the women, hey, you could build a king up and you could tear him down too.
Come on.
For real. And, I think it's important, that we both take full accountability and responsibility for what we're here for. And that is to rise up and uplift.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, that's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
Because like you said, we definitely can tear somebody down with our words. So it's important to be mindful of how we use them.
Yeah, especially for men. You know what I mean? I grew up in an all-woman, household. And I had to find my own voice because I didn't always have a man to help me understand, hey, mom's, she just saying that. Or, some past females that I was with, or she just saying that. This is a monetary thing. She'll come back and she'll be able to say, you know what, that was wrong. But a lot of us men, we take a lot of what women say to heart. We don't know how to level up because, a lot of things that women say is so hurtful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So after you get past that though, after you get past realizing your own self-worth and what you bring to the table, you start to create boundaries. And I think that that's important for all of our journey too. I always say to people that are inexperienced, you gotta know what you don't want in order to know what you want.
Absolutely.
So life is about experience. So keep on experience, keep on trying different things, in love and in life. And eventually you'll grow to that space where you'll appreciate balance. Because as a youngster, I didn't appreciate slowing down.
Yeah.
I was so fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, let me get that. Boom. I'm moving on. You know what I mean? But as I continue to mature, I realize, slow is fast.
Yeah.
Slow is fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
I feel like I'm in the process of that, like unlearning the fastness of life.
Yeah.
Because society tells us, okay, at this age, you need to have this going on. You got to have that. You got to have this.
Yeah.
But then you're losing out on the process and being able to kind of appreciate the process of getting there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, there's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
Especially with being present, because a lot of my experience, especially earlier in my career, a lot of people would come up to me and be like, oh, I met you. Do you remember such and such and such? And I'll be like, no. I'll be like, no. because I wasn't fully present in the moment. I was just going so fast.
Yeah.
And maturity has definitely taught me the purpose of patience. And also it highlighted the importance of timing. Timing, a lot of things that we want in life, a lot of things that we are, praying for and that we are just really trying to make happen day to day. The thing about that is you don't want it in the wrong season. You don't want, you want that timing to be perfect. It's just like when a song plays or, you embrace someone that you love. It's just that timing. It really makes it, extra special, and it makes it another thing, and it helps you be present, and it helps you realize things that are so important. So now I live in the moments of just of good timing. I want to arrive at the right time.
Yeah.
So
It's all, I'm a believer in God's timing.
facts.
Because at the end of the day, when we try to rush things, we fumble the bag. Like we fumble
facts.
it.
That's facts.
Yeah. When you talk about like being in the present moment, how can we balance, and I'm asking for myself, how can we balance like having goals and aspirations, but also being present and being mindful of where we are in life?
Yeah. So for me, how I do that at the end of the year or throughout the year, I always write down affirmations and things to help me stay present and realize that, capturing goals is a journey. Yeah. And that's really the other part that we get to enjoy more because, I remember when I got a Grammy nomination, it was so much going on in my life. I didn't get to appreciate it. I didn't get to appreciate that I arrived to this level, where I was nominated and acknowledged, by this institution for being, and amasking a career to reach this level. And that's the thing about not being present. When you're not present, you kind of miss those little moments. So I do things to kind of slow down the process, and that is always checking in with myself, always writing things down, and realizing that the journey is the longer part. Yeah, reaching the goal is actually short. When you reach there, you like, hey, and then you're like, all right, well, what's next?
What's next? Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to really fall in love with the journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's actually the fun part. I always say that about tour too, because, I'm going, from city to city. I took my kids on my last tour, and they went amazing. To a few cities with me, and just watching them enjoy. Now my daughter's like, Daddy, let's go to this hotel, and she likes to travel, and she's all of 7, but she's like, Dad, when you going on tour, and it's those small memories that really help you appreciate hitting the stage, when it's time to perform.
Absolutely.
I always remember that now, that it's a process,
Absolutely.
So for me, just really keeping myself present in the moment, writing down when I'm having highs or when I'm having lows or when I'm feeling maybe not myself, writing down affirmations to keep me going. That has been like a really cool process for me to stay present. Yeah. Like this too shall pass. Oh, I'm not feeling this right now. This motherfucker. You know what I mean? This motherfucker. You know what I mean? There's power in the pen.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
And I will say I have to get better at that.
Yeah. I'm telling you, when you write stuff, there is a magical process that happens, within yourself. And even the book, I was telling someone yesterday, the most powerful thing about writing a book for me has been that this tool is even a reminder for myself. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the times I'm writing and I'll move away from it. But, I'll open up the book or I'll, listen to my audiobook and I'm like, damn, I really said that. It's lit. You know what I mean? So sometimes you need to motivate and inspire yourself.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to write it down. So you could go back and you could remember and you could be like, oh, yeah, I'm on that.
Period.
I'm on that. You know what I'm saying? Because we all get discouraged and we all have moments where we don't feel like ourselves.
Yes.
So yeah, those are the tools that I use. Writing is a powerful process.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna keep that in my pocket. Yeah, like I said, I'm asking for myself.
Write it up. Write it up. Get silly. Write dumb stuff. Look back at it. What was I talking about? I don't know. You know what I mean? But the power of the pen is mighty.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know we're running short on time. So how can we stay connected with everything that you're doing? Like, what do you have coming up? Like, what are some things that we can expect from Omarion?
Yeah. So we have the Full Circle Sonic Book 1 coming out Sonic Book 2. See, I done got all of these books. Sonic Book 1 came out 5/5 earlier this year. Yeah. So y'all can pick up Sonic Book 1. It's out now. Sonic Book 2 is coming out December 15th. Right? Yes. Yeah. Okay, December 15th. And then also I just sold my first TV show to All Black /AMC. So y'all will be seeing me on the screen.
Congrats.
Yeah. And then also we're going on tour top of the year. So be looking for those announcements.
Love that.
And just continue to tap in on all my socials. Omarion. That's Facebook. That's TikTok. Wherever you at, I'm there.
Love it.
And thank you so much for your time in this great conversation.
Yes.
You're a beautiful sister.
Thank you.
And any man will be lucky to have you if you have one already.
Oh, thank you. Know what I'm saying?
So thank you.
I appreciate that. Listen, I can't wait to stay connected. I'm going to check out the new TV series. We're going to get into the album. So make sure you guys download that on December the 15th. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And on tour.
Yes, you can pre-order it now.
Period.
Yeah.
Because I pre-ordered mine.
Okay, come on. Hey, it's some vibes on There's some vibes on there.
No, it is.
It's some vibes.
Right now, I don't remember the name of the song that's available. But
You talking about Taking Off.
It was dope.
Vibes.
The background vocals, phenomenal.
Come on.
I do a little background myself, so I'll be listening.
You're like, hold up.
Yeah. No, it was dope.
Thank you.
So we appreciate you, Omarion, for stopping by. Don't be a stranger.
Yes.
If you see me at one of your tours, don't be like, wait, who is that?
No, pull up.
All right, we in there. Yeah. So make sure y'all tune in to the Paging Dr. Chanda podcast, only on Revolt Podcast Network, every single Wednesday. And don't forget, you have the power to create the emotions that you want to experience. God bless.